Welcome you all to the new lesson of circuit theory. In last couple of classes, we discussed about the very basic of electric circuits. Why shall we study electric circuit theory? What are the basic elements of electric circuit theory which are used to build an electric circuit? How those elements behaves for a particular circuit, such as how resistor, inductor, or capacitors will behave. What are the purpose of using these elements? Later we discussed about different energy sources, basic terminologies associated with an electric network. All those being discussed in last couple of classes. Today we'll be discussing about different combination of circuit elements to build an entire circuit. As you may know that an electric circuit may comprises of different circuit elements such as electric sources, resistors, inductors, capacitors. All these elements together form an electric circuit. Now, for an electric circuit, resistors, inductors, capacitors, or sources may be combined in series combination or parallel combination, depending on application. So, what is series combination? What is parallel combination? What are the uh, what are the calculation associated with series combination of resistors, inductors, capacitors, or sources? All those will be discussed in this class and in the next of this class. So let us start with the topics to be covered today. So first we'll discuss about the basics of series and parallel circuits. Why do you need series connection? Why do you need parallel connection? What are the applications of series or parallel connection? That will elaborately be discussed in this under this topic. Next topic is series combination of resistances. See, you may consider this calculations or this combinations as ABCD of electric circuit, because until and unless you are familiar with such series combination of resistances or parallel combination of resistances, all these or series parallel both combination of resistances, you won't be able to analyze or calculate data as required for a complex circuit, because most of the complex circuits will involve different combination of resistors, inductors, capacitors, sources, all this. So in today's class we'll be focusing on the calculations associated with series parallel combination of resistances. In next class, in next lesson, we'll be discussing about the same combination, series and parallel combination of inductance, inductors, capacitors, and energy sources. So let us start with why do you need series connection or parallel connection? See, in this circuit, there, this is not a circuit, this is a schematic diagram. There are three bulbs: bulb 1, bulb 2, bulb 3. Now suppose for this bulb there are two terminals. As you know, a battery or an energy source should be connected in between two terminals of a load. So bulbs are considered as load here, and this battery is considered as energy source. Battery supplies power to the bulb and bulb will glow. Now this terminal of bulb is connected to another terminal of bulb. This terminal of bulb is connected to another terminal of bulb. So what is happening here? This terminal connected to the one terminal of battery, this terminal connected to another terminal of battery. So what is happening here? For bulb 1, the N terminal of bulb 1, that is this terminal is connected to the starting terminal of another bulb. So this can be considered as a back-to-back connection. One's end will be connected to another's start, seconds end, this one, seconds end terminal will be connected to third's start terminal. So one ends, another starts. This is called a back-to-back connection. This is known as series combination. So in a series circuit, all are in a row. All are in a row. Now, what happens here if this, when bulb is connected to all these three bulbs, this circuit gets completed through this path. So circuit gets completed through this path. Now, as the circuit completes, a current will be flowing through this. A current will be flowing through this. As a current I is flowing through this, what will happen? Consequently, current will be flowing through all these three bulbs. As per uh, as per Joule's law, some heat energy will be produced, which will later be converted to light energy, and bulb will glow accordingly. So whenever there is a closed path, there is a source and there is load, a current will flow through the load. That current will dissipate some I square R loss. P equals to I square, we know. I square R loss in the bulb, and bulb will glow accordingly. Now, what's the drawback of such connection? If, say, this bulb is not working or this bulb blows, if this bulb blows, then this path, as load is not working or as this bulb is not working, so this two terminals of bulb will act as open circuit. Rest of the filaments are working well, rest of the bulbs are working well, but as first bulb is not working, so it will act as open. So as it is opened, so current will get no path, current will get no path to flow through as it is opened. So a closed circuit must be there in order to ensure flow of current. That is why if bulbs are connected in series, then if one blows, anyone, this one may blow, this one may blow, this one may blow, if any one of these three blows, then it will not be able, all the three will not be able to work in series connection. What else? What else? Suppose here we have considered three bulbs. Now suppose instead of a bulb, this is a fridge, this is a light or bulb, and say this is a night lamp. Now you all may know a night lamp takes very less current, whereas bulb takes moderate amount of current and fridge takes high current. So if this is, there is a single path for current to flow, so same current will be flowing through all these three loads. So the current drawn by fridge will be flowing through light and night lamp, but light and night lamp cannot withstand that much amount of current which is required by a fridge. So these two consequently may blow. So in series connection, as same current will be flowing through all the loads, so all the time you need to connect only same kind of loads having same current requirement. If you have different loads with different current requirement, they cannot be connected in series. So these are some drawbacks of series connection. Now what is parallel connection? What is parallel connection? Say this is point A. What do you mean by parallel path? Suppose you are at point A, you want to go to point B. So suppose there is one green path which you may follow to reach at B from point A. Now suppose there is another path to reach at B from point A. So this pink path is an alternative path of point of green path. So in both cases, you may reach at B from A, but these two paths are different paths. Now, if this is the case, then you all very often used to say that these two paths are parallel paths. Now, what do you mean by parallel path? For parallel paths, for green path or for pink path, for both the paths, starting is A and ending is B. So if two paths are having same starting and same ending point, then this may be considered as parallel. Based on this fact, see, this is the battery terminal. Suppose this is positive terminal of battery and this is negative terminal of battery. In last class, I told you that a short circuit path, this is a short circuit. There is nothing in between. There is nothing in between this point and this point. So these 2 points may be considered as same point. Again, this is connected by a wire. There is nothing in between these two. So this point and this point, these 2 points may be considered as same point. Similarly, this. So all these four may be considered as a same point, which is connected to plus terminal of battery. Similarly, in this case, nothing in between the bulbs or in between bulb and battery. So all these points may be considered as the same point. So for this bulb, for bulb 1, starting point is this, ending point is this. For bulb 2, starting point is this, ending point is this. Now as this point, say this is a point, at this point and this point, these 2 points are connected by a short circuit, so these 2 points or these 2 nodes can be considered as same node. So for bulb 1 and bulb 2, starting point is A, similarly ending point, say this is B, so this should also be B, as in between this point and this point there is nothing connected in between. There is nothing connected in between. So these 2 points may be considered as the same point. So what can we conclude here? As like here, this green path and pink path are having same starting and ending point. Similarly, bulb 1 and bulb 2 are having same starting point A and same ending point B. Same for all these 3 bulbs and the battery. So what can we say? Battery and the 3 bulbs are connected in parallel. So this is known as parallel combination. Now, what are the advantages of parallel connection? Suppose this bulb 2 is blown. If bulb 2 blows, what will happen? A current will be flowing through this path. So from battery positive terminal to battery negative terminal, current is flowing through bulb 1. So bulb 1 will glow. Now, another current will flow through this path. So from positive terminal of battery, bulb 3, through bulb 3, current is flowing and come back to negative terminal of the battery. So what is concluded here, although this is blown, So this will act as open circuit. This will act as open circuit. So these two terminals, say this is X terminal, this is Y terminal. X and Y terminal will act as open circuit because the bulb is not working. Although this bulb is not working, current through 1 and 3, this current through these two bulbs will be continuously flowing. Only current through bulb 2 will not be flowing. So in case of parallel connection, what happens if one bulb blows, remaining two will be unaffected. This is the one point. Another point is, suppose this is, as I discussed in previous case, suppose this is fridge, this is light, and this is night lamp. What happens in this case? Say fridge takes 2 ampere, light takes 1 ampere, and it takes 0.2 ampere. So what will happen? Fridge will draw current accordingly. Fridge will draw 2 ampere of current, but the lamp will draw 1 ampere current as it requires, and night lamp will draw different amount of current. So as the path is different, current through this, current through this, and current through this, all these three will be different. So that is why different devices or different power rating or different current rating can be connected in parallel in order to accomplish the operation. So these are the difference between series and parallel circuit, and these are the necessity of series and parallel circuit. Now let us discuss the applications of this such circuits for all the household applications. In our home, there is a fridge, there is a lamp, there is a TV, tube light. All these are there in our home. Now all these are operating from a common supply means. So as we know, all these devices are of different power rating, so different current should be flowing through all these devices. This is possible if all these are connected in parallel combination. So household lighting, for household application, parallel circuits are used. But for a chain of uh, lights like Christmas tree lights or a chain of LEDs, may use series circuits connected across one supply voltage. If one blows, then remaining may not work. So Christmas tree light is an example of series circuit. Now for the calculation purpose, here, see, what is resistance? A bulb, a filament bulb should have its own resistance. So a bulb may be in this one, see, this bulb may be considered as a resistance. This also may be considered as another resistance. This may be considered as another resistance. So in first class, I told you from schematic how to draw circuit diagram. So this schematic diagram can be replaced by this circuit diagram. Now, while replacing, the battery is replaced by its circuit symbol. All these bulbs are represented by their equivalent circuit symbol. So bulbs may be represented by resistances. So theoretically we all know, practically you all know that bulbs may be connected in series or in parallel. But while making calculations, all those bulbs, batteries will be replaced by their circuit symbols and will calculate accordingly. Now that is why such resistances in series or resistances in parallel, those combination need to be known to us for the calculation purpose. Now what happens, as there is only one path for current to flow, so current through all the elements, current through R1, current through R2 and current through R3, current through all these elements will be same as same as current through the supply. So the current coming out from supply will be flowing through R1. As the path is same current will be flowing through R2 and same current will be flowing through R3 and it will back to the negative terminal of the supply. Now, what happens? So it is concluded that for series connection, current through all these three elements will be same. Now, let us assume we know Ohm's law. Let us assume voltage across R1 is V1 as mentioned. Voltage across R2 is V2. So V1 can be written as I into R1. V2 can be written as I into R2. Likewise. Now, as R1 and R2, these two are different. So V1 and V2 should have been different. So voltage across each series connected element may not be same. May not be same. So what should be the total voltage? Total voltage will be divided in all these three. So total voltage V equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Okay. So for series connection, current will be same through all the elements, but supply voltage or total voltage will be equals to sum of all the voltages across each element. Now how to calculate equivalent resistance? For series connection, these three resistances are connected in series. So what will be equivalent resistance? How to calculate this I? To calculate this I, see, I is total current flowing through the circuit. V is total voltage. What should be total resistance of the circuit? So if three resistors are connected in series, what would be total resistance? Three resistances connected in series can be represented by a single resistance, which is known as equivalent resistance. So in series connection, equivalent resistance will become addition of individual resistances, R1 plus R2 R plus R3. So how can we get that? As we know, total voltage V is sum of all the three elements. Now V1 equals to I into R1. I current is flowing through R1. As per Ohm's law, V1 will be equals to I into R1. Similarly, V2 IR2, V3 equals to IR3. So V equals to what? I into R1 plus R2 plus R3. V equals to this. So now V by I equals to what? V by I should be equals to R EQ. Req means equivalent resistance or total resistance of the circuit. V is total voltage of the circuit. I is total current of the circuit. So V by I should be total resistance of the circuit. Now in this equation, what can we conclude? V by I, that is total voltage by total current should be equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So this R1 plus R2 plus R3 is total resistance or equivalent resistance of the circuit. Hence we can write this Req equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So the conclusion is, for series combination of resistances, current through all the elements will be same, voltage across each element will be different, and total voltage is sum of all the voltages. Resistance, total resistance of the circuit will be summation of all the resistances in the series combination. So generalizing the formula, R equivalent equals to summation of Ri. If there are 5 resistors, then it will be R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus R5, R4 plus R5. So for series combination, resistances should add up. Now let us come to parallel. For parallel combination, see, this is point A, this is point B. In between A and B, R1 is connected. See, R1 is connected in between A point and B point. Similarly, R2 is connected in between A point and B point. Similarly, R3 is connected between A point and B point. And voltage source is also connected between A and B. So what can we conclude here? All the 4 elements shown here, R1, R2, R3 and voltage source, are connected in parallel because they are having same starting and same ending point. Now, when resistors are connected in parallel, what will happen? You must know that, suppose this is 10 volt. Now if you have a multimeter, you have connected a voltmeter or a multimeter here. So what should be voltmeter reading? Voltmeter reading will be 10. Now suppose I have asked someone else to measure the voltage. What he may do? He or she may connect voltmeter like this. What should be its reading? 10. Because you are measuring voltage across these 2 points, and across these 2 points there is a 10 volt connected. Now if you use voltmeter along this path, you will get 10 volt. If you measure voltage along this path, you'll get same voltage, because voltmeter is connected in between the same points, so your voltage reading will be same. So what I can say, irrespective of the path the voltmeter following, as voltmeter is connected in between 2 points, in between the same 2 points, so always voltmeter will show us the same reading. So based on that fact, as A and B are the 2 different points in between which R1, R2, R3 are connected, so paths may be different. Path may be this one, path may be this one, path may be this one, or path may be this one. In all cases, same voltage will appear. Okay, so in case of parallel circuits, voltages are same. This one is having V volt, this one is having V volt, this one is having V volt, if supply voltage is V. So for parallel elements, parallelly connected elements, all the voltages will be same. But see what will happen. Due to this voltage source, a current will start flowing through this path. Say this current is I. Now through R1, a current will be flowing. This current will be, what will be the current? This current I1 as per Ohm's law is V by R1. Similarly, I2 equals to V by R2. So what does this mean? R1, R2, R3, all these are experiencing same amount of voltage V. So I1 through R1 will be V by R1. I2 through R2 will be V by R2. Now, as these two resistances, R1 and R2, these two resistances are not same. So I1 and I2 will be different. That is why in case of parallel circuit, depending on this resistance value, current may differ. Okay. So total current I will be split into three different currents, and the amount of current flowing through R1, R2 and R3 will be depending on the resistance value. So for series combination of resistances, voltage will be different in each element and current will be same through each element. But parallel combination, it's just opposite. Current will be different in each element, but voltage will be same in all the elements. So what would be equivalent resistance for parallel combination of resistances? So for series combination of resistances, uh, equivalent resistance was R1 plus R2 plus R3. So all the resistance were added up. For parallel connection, all the resistances will be reciprocal, or reciprocal of total resistance will be sum of reciprocal of individual resistances. 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. For series combination, it is Req equals to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Here, just opposite. 1 by R equivalent equals to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. How can we get that? As you know, total current I is divided in three currents, I1 plus I2 plus I3. Now I1 equals to V by R1, V by R2, V by R3. So I equals to, what can we write? Total voltage, total current and total resistance. So total current equals to total voltage by total resistance. Now I equals to V by Req. This can be written, again we have written I equals to V by R1 plus V by R2 plus V by R3. So this V by R1 plus V by R2 plus V by R3 equals to V by Req. So by cancelling V from both sides, we'll get this one. So this is the equation for equivalent resistance calculation for parallel circuits. Now let us move to next slide. So this is the generalized formula for parallelly combined resistors. Inverse resistances will be added. So this is summary of series and parallel combination which we discussed. Voltage will be same, current will be same for series, voltage adds. For parallel combination, just opposite, same voltage I adds, and this is summation of all resistances. This is summation of reciprocal of all the resistances. Now, how to get equivalent resistance of series parallelly combined circuit? So this is a practical network in which resistances may be connected in series or may be connected in parallel. So how to get equivalent resistance in this case? See here, you are asked to obtain equivalent resistance in between A and B. So let us start with A and let us try to reach at B. What are the possible paths? When reach at this point, say when reach at C, you will get two different paths. Okay. When reached at D, you will get another two different paths. Now, suppose this is E point. You can reach from D to E through this path or through this path. So what can we say? These three resistors, are following same path. So these three resistors could be connected, could be said to be connected in series. So first, what shall we do? We should combine these three resistors in series. Once these three resistors are connected in series, so equivalent resistance will be shown here. So combination of these three resistors will be now replaced by one single resistor, which is series combination of these three resistors. Now with this combination, this resistor was connected in parallel. Why? This was D point and this was E point. This was D point and this was E point. Now, in between D and E, there was one resistor connected vertically, and there were three resistors connected. These three resistors were connected in series, and we got this one. So now, from D to E, there is one path, there is another path. So for both the resistors, starting and ending points are same. So we may consider these two in parallel as mentioned here. So by combining these two in parallel, you will get parallel combination of these two resistances as this single resistance. Now, as this is combined in parallel and single resistance is obtained, this was D, this was E, this was C, and suppose this is F. Now, in between D and D, two resistors are connected in parallel. In between D and D, these two resistors, parallelly connected resistors, are combined into a single one. So this is, after combining these two resistors in parallel, we'll get one single resistor in between D and D. Now in between C and D, there is one resistance, this resistance, and in between E and F, there is another resistance. So see, now you have one path to reach at F from C, and this is another path. So you may reach at F from C through this green path or through this red path. Now in this red path, these three resistors are combined in series. So this series combination of these three resistors, let us move to next slide. Series combination of these three resistors may be combined into a single one. So series combination of these three resistors may be combined into a single resistor. Okay. This was C, this was F. So in between C and F, there is one path. In between C and F, this is another path. This red path is equivalent of the series resistances of the three. Now again, these two will be combined in parallel. These two will be combined in parallel. Parallel combination of these two can be considered as a single. Now when combined into a single, now these three are connected in series, and finally you will get one single resistance. So this is equivalent resistance of the entire circuit. So this is how you can get equivalent resistance of a circuit. Okay. So these are the few few calculations which was associated with series parallel combination. How can we make series and parallel combination of resistances that we discussed here. So for today, we'll end up here. Let me summarize the entire class, what we discussed today. First, we discussed why series or parallel connection is needed, what are the applications of series and parallel connection, what are the difference between series and parallel connection, what happens when resistors are connected in series, how to get equivalent resistance of series connected resistors, equivalent resistance of parallel connected resistors, and later we discussed what happens or how to get equivalent resistance of a complex series parallelly combined resistors. So this was up to this. In next class, we'll be discussing some more about series parallel combination. In next class, we'll discuss about some numerical on this, and we'll also discuss about series parallel combination of different sources, inductors, capacitors, all this. Thank you. Thank you all.